Ever considered how your mind might be playing tricks on you, shaping your reality based on your beliefs? Now that's a question that's bound to stir the pot. But intriguingly, it's not as far-fetched as it might initially sound. Welcome, dear listeners, to the fascinating world of cognitive phenomena. Invisible puppet strings that pull and prod at our perception of reality. You see, our minds are intricate systems designed to help us navigate the world around us. We make sense of our surroundings, we form opinions, we make decisions, but in doing so, our minds can sometimes take shortcuts. They can bend and twist information, subtly and unknowingly, to fit into our pre-existing beliefs and perceptions. Imagine this: you're sifting through a sea of news articles, social media posts, and conversations. Your mind, acting like a diligent gatekeeper, filters through this information overload. It highlights some pieces, discards others. It's a necessary process, of course, but here's the catch. Your mind is more likely to pick out information that confirms your existing beliefs, while conveniently ignoring or downplaying information that contradicts them. This isn't a conscious act of deception, it's an automatic subconscious response. It's like your mind is wearing a pair of tinted glasses, coloring your view of the world to match your beliefs. And while this might offer some comfort, some sense of validation, it can also lead to a distorted perception of reality. We've all been there, haven't we? Stuck in a cycle of self-affirming thoughts, unwilling or unable to see the other side of the coin. It's a common human tendency, almost as natural as breathing. But it's not without its consequences. This mental trickery is known as confirmation bias, a powerful force that can significantly affect our mental health. But don't fret, dear listeners. Understanding is the first step towards overcoming. So let's delve deeper, shall we? Let's unmask this elusive trickster, this confirmation bias, and see how we can navigate its treacherous waters. So, what exactly is confirmation bias, and how does it work? Imagine confirmation bias as a sneaky little creature living in the recesses of your mind. It's always there, subtly influencing your thoughts and decisions, often without you even realizing it. This creature has a knack for highlighting information that aligns with your pre-existing beliefs and conveniently overlooking anything that challenges them. Let's say you believe that cats are aloof and indifferent. With the confirmation bias creature in your head, you'll notice every time a cat walks away from a human, every time a cat seems uninterested in play, and you'll think, see, cats are aloof. But what about the times when a cat rubs against a person's leg, purrs in their lap, or plays with a toy? Well, those instances are likely to be dismissed or forgotten because they don't fit with the belief that cats are aloof. Confirmation bias doesn't only apply to our views about pets, but to our beliefs about everything, from politics to personal relationships, from food preferences to fashion trends. It's a universal human tendency. It's like wearing tinted glasses that color our perception of the world around us. But why does our brain do this? Well, it's a kind of mental shortcut. Our brains are constantly bombarded with information, so to make processing easier, they categorize and simplify. And sometimes this means sticking with what's familiar and comfortable, even if it's not entirely accurate or fair. It's important to note, however, that confirmation bias isn't inherently evil. It can help us make quick decisions and stay consistent in our beliefs. But when left unchecked, it can also lead to misjudgments and misunderstandings, skewing our perception of reality. Now that we understand what confirmation bias is, let's delve into how it can impact our mental health. How does favoring information that confirms our beliefs affect our mental health? An intriguing question, isn't it? Confirmation bias, the cognitive phenomenon where we favor information that bolsters our pre-existing beliefs and disregard any contradictory evidence, can have a profound impact on our mental health and overall well-being. Let's imagine that our mind is like a garden. The seeds we plant and nurture grow into the beliefs and perspectives that shape our reality. Now, confirmation bias acts like a selective gardener, only watering the plants that align with our pre-existing beliefs and letting the others wither away. This one-sided nurturing of our mental garden can lead to an imbalanced ecosystem, causing anxiety, strained relationships, and a hindrance to personal growth. Anxiety, for instance, is often exacerbated by confirmation bias. We may worry about a particular situation, and our bias leads us to only notice and remember instances that confirm our fears, disregarding any evidence to the contrary. This selective attention can fuel our anxiety, creating a vicious cycle that is difficult to break. Our relationships can also bear the brunt of confirmation bias. When we only seek out information that supports our views about a person or a situation, we may misunderstand or misjudge them, leading to strained relationships. Finally, confirmation bias can be a roadblock to personal growth. When we favor information that aligns with our existing beliefs, we close ourselves off to new ideas and experiences that could challenge us and stimulate growth. So you see, confirmation bias is not just an abstract cognitive concept. It has real-world implications that can significantly affect our mental health. It can distort our perception of reality, intensify our fears, strain our relationships, and limit our capacity for personal growth. Confirmation bias can create a significant amount of stress, often underestimated. But remember, understanding the nature of this cognitive bias is the first step towards mitigating its effects on our mental health. So let's continue to explore, learn, and grow together in this journey of understanding the mind. How can we navigate through life with an awareness of confirmation bias and its effects? Imagine sailing a ship. You have a destination, but the sea is vast, and there's a strong current underneath, subtly dictating your course. That's confirmation bias. It's a powerful undercurrent shaping our thoughts and decisions. But unlike a ship, we can't just adjust our sails or engine to counteract it. We need to navigate our minds differently. Firstly, we need to develop an open-minded approach. It's essential to question even our most cherished beliefs. Being open-minded doesn't mean we have to change our core values, but rather it means being willing to consider different perspectives. It's about embracing the possibility that we might be wrong, and that's okay. It's through this process that we grow and learn. Secondly, critical thinking is key. It's not enough to accept information at face value, especially if it aligns with our pre-existing beliefs. We need to question, probe, and analyze. Is the source reliable? What's the evidence? Are there alternative explanations? This kind of thinking can help us sift through the vast information sea and pick out the pearls of truth. Finally, we should actively seek diverse perspectives. It's comfortable to stick with people who think like us, who share our beliefs. But this comfort can be a trap, leading us further into the depths of confirmation bias. To navigate this, we should engage with a variety of viewpoints, explore other cultures, and challenge our assumptions. This doesn't mean we have to agree with everything we hear, but it does mean we should listen and consider. Remember, our minds are like ships in the sea of information. The current of confirmation bias is always there, subtly influencing our course. But with open-mindedness, critical thinking, and a thirst for diverse perspectives, we can navigate these waters with greater accuracy and less stress. Awareness of confirmation bias and actively seeking to challenge it can promote better mental health and overall well-being. Let's take a moment to review what we've learned about confirmation bias and its impact on mental health. Our journey began by probing the mind, where we peeled back the layers to reveal the concept of confirmation bias. It's this cognitive phenomenon that prompts us to favor information that confirms our existing beliefs, while conveniently sidelining any contradictory evidence. We then unmasked confirmation bias, revealing its subtle yet pervasive presence in our daily lives. Whether it's in the news we consume, the people we interact with, or even the social media algorithms that feed our screens, confirmation bias is everywhere, silently shaping our worldview. As we moved forward, we delved into the often overlooked connection between confirmation bias and mental health. This bias isn't just an invisible puppeteer pulling our belief strings, it can also be a potent stressor. By continuously affirming our beliefs, we create a world that's devoid of challenge, of questioning, and ultimately, of growth. This can lead to anxiety, strained relationships, and a roadblock on the path to personal growth. But it's not all doom and gloom. In navigating confirmation bias, we explored numerous strategies to mitigate its effects. From actively seeking out diverse perspectives to questioning our own beliefs and even practicing mindfulness, there are many ways we can challenge confirmation bias and its stronghold on our minds. So as we wrap up this journey of exploration, remember that understanding confirmation bias is the first step towards combating it. It's not about completely eliminating this bias, but about being aware of its existence and consciously working to challenge it. Remember, the first step to overcoming confirmation bias is awareness. Keep questioning, keep learning, and keep growing.